What women really think about broke single men is rarely said out loud, not because it's complicated, but because it's uncomfortable, and tonight we're pulling that discomfort into the light. This is not an attack on women, and it's not an excuse for men. This is psychological reality, stripped of romance, stripped of filters, stripped of social lies. A broke single man does not exist in a neutral emotional space. He exists inside a silent judgment chamber created by biology, culture, media, and survival instinct. When a woman looks at a man who has no visible direction, no resources, no status, and no momentum, something ancient activates inside her nervous system, long before any conscious thought forms. It's not cruelty. It's pattern recognition. For hundreds of thousands of years, women survived by choosing men who could provide safety, stability, and future. That wiring never left. It simply put on modern clothes. Today, instead of caves and firewood, the signals are ambition, income, discipline, presence, and purpose. A broke man is subconsciously categorized as unfinished. Not evil, not worthless, just incomplete. And here's the brutal truth most men never hear. Attraction does not grow in potential, it grows in evidence. Women don't sit around saying, "I hate broke men." What they feel is something quieter and more dangerous: emotional disinterest, indifference, a subtle pulling back of energy. The body language changes. The tone softens, but the curiosity fades. Because in her internal world, she's already running simulations of the future, and a man without resources or direction doesn't create a sense of expansion, he creates uncertainty. Even compassionate women feel this. They may empathize, they may encourage, they may stay friendly, but romantic gravity weakens. A broke single man represents instability in a world that already feels unstable, and modern women are exhausted. They are overstimulated, overworked, and emotionally overwhelmed. They don't want another project. They don't want another adult to rescue. They want someone who brings calm, structure, and forward motion into their life. Now here, where most men get confused, they think women care about money. That's surface level. What women actually respond to is competence, direction, grounded masculinity. Money is just one visible symbol of those deeper traits. A man who is broke but building something, disciplined, emotionally steady, and physically present still carries masculine gravity. But a man who is broke and drifting, blaming society, scrolling endlessly, numbing himself with distractions, that man leaks power from every movement. Women feel that immediately. They may not articulate it, but their nervous system knows. And this is why some men with very little still attract, while others with more repel. It's not the bank account. It's the trajectory. Social media made this worse. Every woman now has access to high-status men in her pocket. Not relationships, but visibility. That visibility recalibrates standards. When a woman scrolls past ambitious men, traveling men, successful men, fit men, articulate men, even if she never meets them, her subconscious baseline shifts. So when she meets a broke single man who lacks presence or vision, the contrast is brutal. Again, not cruelty. Comparison. Biology plus technology equals silent disqualification. But here's the part nobody talks about. Women don't despise broke men. They fear stagnation. They fear emotional labor. They fear being pulled backward. Many women grew up watching their mothers struggle with unmotivated partners. They watched resentment build in kitchens and living rooms. They watched love die slowly under financial stress and emotional immaturity. So when they sense those patterns forming, they retreat. They don't announce it. They withdraw. And if you're a man hearing this and feeling anger rising, pause. This isn't about shame. This is about clarity. Because the same system judging you is the same system that rewards you when you rise. Women respond powerfully to men who are in motion. A man building himself, even quietly, commands respect without asking. His posture changes. His voice slows. His eyes carry weight. He doesn't chase validation because he's too busy constructing his future. Now let's go deeper, because psyche depth is not surface psychology. It's shadow work. A broke single man often carries invisible wounds: rejection history, comparison trauma, father absence, financial anxiety, identity confusion. These wounds leak into behavior, people-pleasing, over-explaining, emotional volatility, neediness disguised as kindness. Women pick up on this instantly, not consciously, energetically. A wounded man feels unsafe, even when he's gentle. So what do women really think? They think, can I relax around him? They think, does he know where he's going? They think, will I have to carry this man emotionally? They think, will my life expand or contract with him? They think, does he stand on his own spine? These calculations happen in seconds. Now the cinematic production begins. The opening scene is a lone man standing in a crowded city intersection at night, everyone rushing past in motion blur while he remains still, ambient traffic noise mixing with slow atmospheric music, camera slowly pushing toward his face, rain reflecting neon lights on the pavement. The narration starts here, calm, deep, deliberate. The second scene shifts to fragmented social media imagery floating around him like holograms, couples smiling, luxury cars, fitness influencers, fatting in and out like ghosts. The third scene moves into a quiet apartment, the man sitting alone on the edge of his bed, phone in hand, screen lighting his tired eyes, dust particles floating in the air, slow handheld camera drift to emphasize isolation. Scene 4 introduces flashback silhouettes of parental arguments behind frosted glass, muted voices. A child watching from a hallway, emotional memory layered visually without dialogue. Scene 5 shows a woman across a cafe table politely smiling while her eyes lose interest. Sound design dampening, heartbeat audio fading in. Camera slowly dolly zooming to emphasize emotional distance. Scene 6 cuts to the man walking alone through empty streets, hoodie up, city lights above, internal monologue playing over atmospheric music. Scene 7 transitions into symbolic imagery, broken mirrors, unfinished construction sites, empty wallets falling in slow motion, representing internal fragmentation. Scene 8 shows the same man waking early, tying his shoes, breathing deeply, subtle shift in lighting warmer now, indicating the beginning of agency. Scene 9 moves into disciplined routine. Gym shadows, cold showers, journaling, studying, silent repetition, camera static but purposeful. Scene 10 introduces masculine camaraderie. Two men training together in near silence, nodding mutual respect, no exaggerated emotion. Scene 11 shows the man working late alone on a laptop, city asleep outside the window, clock ticking, rain tapping glass. Scene 12 shows his posture changing, shoulders back, eyes steadier. Scene 13 revisits the cafe, but now he sits grounded, not seeking approval, presence filling the frame. The woman notices, not dramatically, subtly. Scene 14 shows him walking confidently through the same crowded intersection from the beginning, but now people seem to part naturally. Scene 15 closes with him standing on a rooftop at sunrise, city stretching behind him, slow cinematic pullback, narration delivering the final message. The animation direction throughout uses slow pans, gentle dolly zooms, shallow depth of field, drifting dust particles, environmental rain, soft lens flares, restrained color grading shifting from cold blues to warm ambers as inner transformation occurs. Camera behavior stays intimate and psychological, never flashy. Motion is minimal but meaningful. The core message lands here. Women are not the enemy. Poverty mindset is. Stagnation is. Emotional passivity is. A man is not rejected for lacking money, he is rejected for lacking momentum. A broke man who is becoming is far more powerful than a comfortable man who is decaying. Masculinity is not wealth. Masculinity is direction under pressure. And this is where the truth settles heavy in your chest. No woman is coming to save you. No relationship will fix your identity. No external validation will replace self-respect. If you are broke and single, your mission is not resentment. Your mission is reconstruction. Build your body, sharpen your mind, create income streams, learn emotional regulation, become dangerous in discipline and gentle in presence, not for women, for yourself. Because when a man becomes internally solid, women don't need convincing. They feel it. They lean in, they soften, they trust, not because he begged, not because he performed, but because he stands rooted in who he is becoming. This entire production workflow flows from idea generation rooted in male psychological struggle, selecting a provocative truth-based title, scripting with philosophical tension, visualizing internal states through cinematic metaphors, designing 15 emotionally progressive scenes, adding subtle animation directives, scoring with ambient minimalist music, and delivering a final edit that leaves the viewer silent for a moment after it ends. The target audience is men aged 25 to 45 who feel invisible, disrespected, or confused by modern relationships. And the tone remains authoritative, revelatory, slightly conspiratorial, and grounded in masculine camaraderie from first frame to last. And the closing line arrives quietly, without drama. Women don't hate broke single men, they wait to see who rises, and the world belongs to the men who answer that call.